Welcome everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic, and today we are going to discuss Total War Warhammer 3 and update 1.1. So there's quite a lot to go through. This is probably one of the biggest updates I've ever seen for Warhammer in general from Total War, but then also there's a lot of good things for multiplayer, which is absolutely fantastic. Now sadly I didn't get any early access to this, so I'm going to be reading it and reacting to it just as you are here. So unfortunately it might take a little bit longer to go through today, maybe some bits might be a little bit boring, so I do apologise. I haven't had a chance to read through this, so I'll try and update you as quickly as I possibly can. So we are excited to bring you update 1.1, introducing a variety of gameplay mechanics, crashes and bug fixes, balance changes, and the triumphant return of 2 Domination battlefields in Total War Warhammer 3. So fantastic! We're going to be getting 2 more maps here for Warhammer 3. Absolutely excellent, that's for sure. So the first major release, we've packed a ton of work into the build and highlight all of the changes we've made and the patch notes below, so let's do it. So crashes and performance fix optimizations, the Realms of Chaos changes, Everlasting Gift and Gift of Slanesh upgrades, supply lines, this was a big moan from quite a few people, Prologue, the Demon Prince, aka Daniel, love that, the Demons of Chaos gifts, gift sets, unit unresponsiveness, fantastic, charge reflection, thank God for that. I needed fixing for sure. Balance updates for most factions, so I believe things like Slanesh probably wouldn't have been touched. There's going to be 2 more maps with Arnheim and then the battle for Itza. Oh, I love the battle for Itza. That's a really nice map. I mean, a lot of people didn't like it, but I really did like it. And then, of course, major updates for the Domination multiplayer mode, so fantastic stuff. If you guys ever want to leave any of your ideas or opinions, Total War have left their links here onto Steam, the official forums, and their Discord. So do feel free to go join those and leave all your thoughts and opinions. As an important reminder, this is only the first update for Total War Warhammer 3. There are still many, many years to set aside to continue the growth and evolution of the game, including new features, blood packs, immortal empires, and redacted. So of course there will be more coming forward. Ongoing fixes, auto-resolve, siege battles, unit movement, sync animations, continued adjustments to balance the Realms of Chaos, existing and new factions, and more. So there's more to come, which is always what we want to hear. Even if you don't see something included in today's build, know that there'll be a variety of fixes, investigations, and projects going forward. Yes, so even if you don't see it today, even if you haven't heard about it, do go here to the either the Steam official forums or Discord and let them know, hey, listen, I didn't see this in the last one, but it'd be great if you could look into this for me, and then maybe you might see it in a future patch. So if you're going to update today, make sure on the Microsoft Store, you can update it like so. On Steam, you can update it like so. And then on Epic, like so. So there we go. You can go through those 3 ways to update the game, and you should be getting a massively improved performance. So jump 2. So it looks like we have 8 different subsections we can talk about today. So for those that know me, I will be talking mostly, 99%, on the multiplayer side of things. And we'll very quickly go through everything as a quick brush. If anybody wants me to do more than that, do let me know in the future, and I'll be doing more. So as mentioned previously, the stability and performance of the game continues to be fundamental to a great experience as we work to ensure that everyone can play and enjoy Total War Warhammer 3. This is a long-term process that will continue to be a priority throughout the lifespan of the game. Even while the campaign, factions, and multiplayer settings seem to be their own adjustments, and especially the new mechanics, features, and content are added to the top of the game. Cool. So fix the crash with the game. Oh, fantastic. What a fix. Alt tabbing. Here we go. So alt tabbing to another window. Looks like they've hopefully fixed that. That was a bit of a nuisance because, of course, we don't have any chat box in the multiplayer scene currently in the game. So it's going to be very nice that they're going to be fixing the alt tab issues. So here looks like there's going to be a fix to caravans, fix to merging armies with heroes and lords. Fixed crash occurs when the multiplayer campaign allows simultaneous turns. Let's have a look here. Fixed crash triggers. Player queued movement. Sieging army. Legions of Chaos changes. Severe performance hit when Steam visual effects during the custom battle. Implement several optimizations to distance and overdraw in the game. Okay, so there's going to be quite a few stability and performance fixes. If you want some more details, do let me know. Graphics changes. So it's like the vegetation has been changed to appear darker, so it's been adjusted to the game settings. Fixes issues result in the white flickering. Oh, that was so irritating on the mountains when you had that white snow, and it was like, I mean, in nature it would be incredibly shiny and in your eyes anyway, but still in the game it wasn't all that necessary. Because of course, it's like the visual issues have been fixed from them. Zenith Realm, some additions, and some more Zenith Realm stuff. Audio, lead belchers and iron blasters are going to be giving a bigger punch. I love that. I love that. I love the big thud that you get from the Cathade cannons when they fire. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, really brings it to life for sure. But yeah, it's going to be nice that they've been changed. Fixed an issue that prevents Ascents from displaying properly in the lobby newsfeed. Adding a missing icon for the effect for the Wood Elf building tree. Added the correct category for the Herald of Sunnesh Shadows. Fantastic. So, gameplay mechanics. We've now changed to Corrupted. Okay, so the Corrupted is going to change Everlasting Gift. So this is going to be a bunch of stuff for the single player. So I'm just going to very quickly look at the highlighted and just say, look, this has changed, this has changed, this has changed. So supply lines, big change. Gifts of Sunnesh, big change. Everlasting Gift. Three things that I've heard about quite a bit that were moaned about quite a lot. So it looks like those three things are going to be your first. I don't know about the Firemouth Settlement. Don't know anything about that. Looks like there's going to be some changes to the Ogre Camps. Changes to the Empire. Changes to Caravans, which I think that's definitely needed. Auto-resolve as well. Looks like it's going to be changed. I've had a lot of issues about it just being completely unfair to the player. Infinite Winds of Magic could be generated due to the... Okay, so it's like that's going to be changed. Be'lakor's going to be changed. I saw him there. Battle speed and slow motion. Campaign. Not going to be going through too much here, but prologue, there's going to be some changes. I haven't played it yet, so I won't go through that. Realms of Chaos is going to be changed with a bunch of updates here to Be'lakor, Demons of Chaos, Demonic Progress offerings, lots of changes there. Demons of Chaos, that's Prince Gifts sets. And then you can see that with the left arm, right arm, there's going to be a bunch of additional balancing, changing, all sorts of things. Look at the details. See, I've gone through here. Fantastic stuff. But a bucket load of changes, ladies and gentlemen. So go through and read these. I haven't played the campaign, so I don't know. But it looks like there's going to be a bunch of changes and the Frozen Falls. So, awesome stuff. So, battles. So, we're going to go through spells. So, you know, I'm a big spell guy. I love my spells. I talk to you guys about spells all the time. So, let's go through. In Total War Warhammer 3, we are heavily reworked on how Vortex, Wind, Breath, and similar spells work from earlier games in the series. One of the biggest changes is related to the damage reduction applied over distance, which has been removed from the entire Warhammer 3. This results in drastically increased damage potentially across the board, which naturally required a rebalance for every spell in the game. Unfortunately, there was only one spell that was missed when implementing the new system, which affects, so Penumbral Pendulum. Penumbral Pendulum was just disgusting. Like, it was just absolutely filthy. When it was overcasted, it was disgusting. So it's gone from 108 down to 45. So it's gone down by below half, and this one directly half. Okay, cool. It's been fixed. I mean, that was way overdue. Unit responsiveness. How improved infantry reacts to orders to turn and face the enemy. Their behavior should now match the responsiveness of infantry in Total War Warhammer 2. Fix an issue that caused ranged units to fire slower when docked on a siege wall or similar structure. Fix an issue where you could cause ranged units to reset their animations without having to fire. Lots groups no longer enter guard mode when receiving the attacking order. Okay, interesting. Okay, so a few little changes there in regards to unit responsiveness and general fixes. So charge reflection attributes will now require units to be braced against the charging attack order. So you can't, I believe, charge reflection would work if you countercharged. So it looks like that's not going to be the case anymore. Fix an issue where defending units would use the attacker's mass rather than their own mass for the impact calculations. Okay, fix an issue where the attacker reinforce would enter from within the defender's city. An army reinforcement should now correctly enter the battle according to the position of the campaign map. Okay, in Domination and Survival Battles, some units will no longer offer a refund after bringing teleported away from the battlefield. So, before, when you resummon something, whatever quantity you had left will be translated into a value of its total value, and you get some of that back. Now, it looks like here, when you do summon something back, you're just going to be getting a higher regen rate, which is going to be interesting. So, factions, general fixes. The Exalted Order change now have access to the Greater Arcane Conduit ability in their skill tree. Awesome. That's going to be just campaign. Ogre Kingdoms, Iron Blasters, thank God. We have envisioned the unit to be a bit more mobile shotgun platform rather than a sniper artillery piece. For example, flanking, followed by shooting down the length of infantry units below the changes. So, increased projectile from 7 to 3, reduced damage dealt by projectile from this to this, and AP from this to this. So, you can see, about a 10% Some up to 50%, but 10% here, yeah, and about 10% there. So yeah, pretty good changes. Gorges are expected to be quickly smashed through the light to medium infantry, though we expect them to be vulnerable to ranged fire. I assume that's meant to say. Beaten handily by anti-large units, and then trade moderately with anti-large heavy infantry. Reducing the AP and entity count should help them reach this balance. Okay, awesome. So it looks like they're going to go from 70 armor piercing down to 50, and there's going to be 16 models going down to 12. Fantastic fix. Fantastic fix. These things were disgusting. Ogre Kingdoms multiplayer only. On the multiplayer front, Ogre Kingdoms have been overperforming in both matchmaking and tournament settings by far. We're having a tough time gauging the power level of other units, while Gorgeous and Iron Blasters control the meta, even forcing the creation of tournament rules to account for their power. Iron Blasters, multiplayer cost gone from this much to this much. Fantastic. Ogre Giants now count as rare single entity for the sake of unit caps. Awesome stuff. We'll be counting. We're continuing to monitor the power of the Ogre Kingdoms. Of course, the Grand Cathay. There's going to be some changes here. So Sky Junks, Sky Lanterns, and the Wuxing World Compass. These have been underperforming. Yeah, I mean, that just goes without saying. We've also increased the range in which Harmony activates. Fantastic. I like that. So fate rate is 45 to 60. Increased ammunition from 15 to 20 for the Sky Junk. The bombs cool down from 60 to 30. Thank God. A whole minute per bombs was ridiculous. I just never used the bombs because it just wasn't worth it. It just was not worth it. Shots now applied to shield breaker effects. Okay, that's pretty decent. Speed increase from 30 to 35. Nice. Making them more mobile is always great. So general fixes. Stone Gaze skill. Now armor instead of leadership for the Terracon Sentinel and the Wuxing War Compass. Okay. So multiplayer only. Grand Cathay is currently and by far the biggest underperformer in both rank matchmaking and domination tournaments. I agree and disagree with this. I actually also think Nurgle is massively underperforming as well. That's going to be in the tournament scene rather than in ranked matchmaking. In ranked matchmaking, they're doing okay. In the competitive scene, they're getting destroyed. So I think they also need some changes. We think Cathay is best when their army is large, such as in land battles, and the small starting armies for domination seem to be a key to the struggle of the faction. So we change to domination below. Increasing the size of the armies will be monitoring the meta progress and be able to keep up with it all. Perfect. So there looks like there's going to be some changes below, talking about, we already discussed this, but there's going to be some changes to the starting army size. We've also targeted the most underperforming units with fixes to their cost efficiency. So Wuxing War Compass goes from 1100 down to 800. Astromancer on there will go from 950 to 400. Oh, okay, very interesting. Okay, lastly, to further boost the benefits of Harmony, factions overall performance, we are slightly reducing the cost of Peasant Archers, who are slightly too expensive in relation to how they perform. Peasant Archers go from 450 to 400. That is excellent for land battles. Really, really good. Domination, it will make a difference. Not as much as a difference, but it certainly will make a difference. So Zinch barriers. When it comes to barriers, we all know the community is concerned at how heavily changes could have consequences of Zinch abilities on the battlefield. So for now, we're adjusting the recharge delay. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Recharge delay is perfect because I feel like with most units you would shoot them, and then by the time you get ready to shoot your second shot, they've already regened again. So like, just range, or you have to go mass range where you have two units shooting in. So one would shoot in, take off the shield, and the other would do the permanent damage, and then it was just a knock-on effect here. So doubling the time from 15 to 30 seconds on that regen is going to make it very, very difficult and actually really nerf Zinch in especially land battles. Arcane Surge. With fixes to Winds of Magic reserves, the ability to endlessly cast cheap spells such as Blue Fires as Zinch, and drastically reduce, but not completely fixed. To correct this, we are reducing the value of the Arcane Surge ability. Okay. Reduce Winds of Magic reserves from 0.3 to 0.15. Awesome. Warp Flame lowered armor reduction debuff from 15 to 11. Fire weakness from 11 to 10. Okay, so it's just a bit of balance in there for Warp Flame. Forsaken of Zinch, as the unit has significant barrier already, we've decided to remove some of the spell resistance. I mean, I think this is really, really smart. I think 40% spell resistance was just absurd. It was already more than Khorne, and it just made no sense. So they've completely removed it, which I think is really, really smart. They've already got a barrier. I don't know why they have, and this is why a lot of people said that although in Melee, the Nurgle Forsaken was better, overall by far Tzeentch was. Tzeentch was faster, had magic resistance, it had shield, I also had magic damage. Like, it had everything it needed, and it was way too absurd. All demon units just got wrecked apart by the Forsaken of Tzeentch. So, yeah, they completely removed that, and that completely makes sense. Exalted Flames of Tzeentch, finally we're looking to differentiate the Exalted Flamer of Tzeentch from a non-exalted version by making the unit more capable in range combat. Okay, to do this, we've increased both their ammo and attack range. This is an incredible update. I love this. I never once brought the Exalted Flamer because it was just garbage to me. You just bring normal Flamers, there's more of them, they're cheaper, they perform better, but here it's now going to offer you something different. It's going to give you a bit more of a range tool at 150 range, and it's going to increase the ammunition, and it has a bucket of damage that you can output, so that's really, really nice. Multiplier cost increase though, so it's like it is going to increase its cost up to 1300. So, along with the Ogre Kingdom, Tzeentch has been dominating both in ranked and multi, 100% in tournaments, and then also ranked matchmaking. It has been well and truly dominating. We expect to see above changes paired with increased cost to the recruit. Yeah, cool. So, Kislev. Let's have a look here. So, in addition to the global responsiveness improvements we've made to infantry units, we're also increasing the acceleration of the heavier Kislev units. So, Armor Corsairs, Streltsy, and Zargard are going to get an acceleration buff, which is going to be interesting. You won't be able to see those stats. Maybe that will reflect in the speed, I don't know. But there you are, so they're going to be a little bit more responsive, which should be quite good. Light War Sleds in their current state are nearly matching the performance of their heavy counterparts at a significantly lower cost. 100%. I 1000% agree with that. As such, we are making tweaks to their armor across the board and their cost in the multiplayer scene. So, oh, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. Oh, this is... So I did a tier list recently that said pretty much War Sleds carries them to the A tier. Changing their armor and their tankiness, that is going to be interesting. Okay, so they're going to go from 70 armor down to 50. That's very, very interesting. That is going to significantly nerf... significantly nerf Kislev quite a bit, yeah, for sure. Elemental Bear, we'd like to boost the pick and the success rate of the Elemental Bear, of course, so we're giving it slightly more melee defense to guard against the main weaknesses. That'll be like halberds, etc. So increase melee defense from 20 to 30. That is a huge buff. That is a huge buff. That's a 50% buff in melee defense. That is ginormous. Okay, interesting. Little Grom units have comparatively low play rate to others, so we've justified a few of the numbers. So range from, up to 160, very nice, okay. And 580 up to 600 AP damage, awesome stuff. So in the multiplayer, Light War Sleds have gone from 950 to 1100, so they've got a 150 cost increase and then lost 20 armor. That's absurd. I don't know if these are going to be separate. I don't know if it suggests it here somewhere, but yes. We'll have to see here in a minute if that's actually going to be the case. But yeah, maybe I should check that before I did the video. But yeah, if that's going to be changing armor and a changing gold cost, that's incredible. Elemental Bear going down by 200 gold. Yeah, I like both of those changes. So if you're going to get a 10 melee defense buff, and then you're going to get an armor reduction rate there for the War Sleds, you might even actually see Kislev drop off a bit. We'll have to see. Feedback from the community highlighted that Nurgle units are too slow, making them vulnerable to large armies and ranged firepower. 100%. 100%. It just makes them incredibly vulnerable and just so easy to take down. So Exalted Plague Bearers, they're going to get an extra ammunition, quite like that. And then they're also going to get a speed buff from 23 to 27. Why they want 27 in the first place, I have no idea. 23 speed makes no sense. Of course, they're incredibly tanky, so when they're on the point, they're so hard to push off. But, yeah, I don't know. I think 27 seems still pretty slow. That's like dwarf speeds, I'm pretty sure. I think dwarf speeds are like, 26 to 27, maybe 28 speed. And the fact that these were slower just kind of made no sense to me. But Plague Bearers and Nurgle also increased speed. And then extra ammunition there for the Plague Drones. So nice. That could definitely make Plague Drones more viable. That's very, very good stuff. So Kugarth is going to get much more ammunition. Nurgling Infestation goes from 0.1 to 0.2 heal per second. That's going to really buff Kugarth. I already really liked Kugarth in the early stage with a bunch of Nurglings. I thought it was quite powerful, very difficult to take him off a point, but you just had to shoot him and he died. So when people caught onto that pretty quickly, yeah, just nobody ever brings him anymore. So hopefully that could see maybe, you know, a pickup in Kugarth. Nurgle has been doing well in ranked matchmaking, however they struggle in domination tournament environment. Struggle is putting it lightly. They get thumped heavily. They are very bad in all matchups, their best one probably being Khorne, and even then, it's not a great matchup. We are looking to increase the size of Nurgle's armies in two ways, through changes in the domination mode listed below, by reducing unit cost. Okay, so plague drones of Nurgle going from 1300 down to 1200. I like that. Plague drones going down and getting more ammo. So I don't know if these are related, so I do apologize. I'm going to apologize right now. I don't know if these changes are going to be the same and applied to the same changes up here. I really hope so. It does say multiplayer only. So I don't know if it's just these are the only changes in multiplayer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But either way, if both are applied, that's fantastic. Plague Bearers of Nurgle are going to go down. I agree with that. And Exalted Plague Bearers go down as well. Nice one. Great and Clean Ones now count as a rare single entity thanks to the unit cap. So probably you only get one of these plus the Exalted, would be my thought. So Slaanesh, updates 1.1. We are fixing several issues with charges, bracing, and impact damage. We feel it's too risky to touch Slaanesh without having a good understanding of what these effects will have. So we'll be revisiting, and I think that's incredibly smart. With Devastating Flank and all these kind of elements coming into the game, moving around too much will either make Slaanesh complete garbage or beyond overpowered. As with above, we will continue to reserving Slaanesh and all their performances changes. Khorne, we are currently happy with Khorne. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Am I a fan of all of these changes? 99% of them, yeah, I think so. I don't know how I feel about this. This is the only one I'm not too sure about. Reducing the armor, I don't know. I think maybe. I mean, obviously they've done a bunch of testing. In my mind, I was actually thinking maybe just buffing the other war sled. Because if you nerf light war sleds, I do struggle to see how Zargard is going to compensate for this. So yeah, fine, Zargard and Armored Corsairs and Streltsy are going to get bonuses to their acceleration. Elemental Bear got buffed, I guess. Little Grom got buffed, so, you know, maybe you'll be seeing a lot more of Little Grom. I don't think Elemental Bear is going to change that much. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be too great, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So, as the Domination mode is new to Total War Warhammer 3, we are eagerly awaiting to see how it receives and how it can continue to evolve. So there are a few feedback areas. So low map count, that has been changed. There's going to be 2 new maps coming. The combat mechanic, which will be changed yet again for the second time, and the supply resource. So we've added 2 new maps, and we'll be continuing to include other existing maps in the very near future. So very near future, let's focus there on that. We want there to be opportunities to come back after the first engagements. So we're removing the damage-based income mechanic to support that goal. Okay. Supply resources, we want to reduce the farming of enemies in line of seizing and holding the catch points in the early game. So we're increasing the supply trickle and increasing how the supplies are obtained in the game mode. Okay, so there's going to be a bunch of changes here. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so for example, when it comes to farming and stuff like that, you could be winning on the battlefield and you could allow your opponent to capture 2 domination points, and then you can start getting supply bonuses, and then when you double their army size, you can then just wipe them off the map, and it's pretty much GG's from there. So another large scale change that we're looking to make in the game based on feedback is starting units. So looks like there's going to be some changes to that. I can't see any figures. We can see how having few units to start doesn't feel as epic as land battles. Functions which rely on large formations or static styles of play end up being hurt quite a bit. Yes, they end up being hurt quite a lot. We are increasing the main army budget, starting supplies and base income to address these problems. So I'm going to be getting a recommendation to my own video. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So finally, we are introducing a bug fix to take away refunds from withdrawal summon units. This will allow us to more accurately monitor the balance of summoner units, such as cultists, seeing as they income exploits will be gone. Okay, interesting. So 2 more land battles. We saw Anheim Arnheim, which is going to be an interesting one. This was a quest map, I believe. I believe this was Marathi's quest map, if I'm correct. And then Battle for Witzer was already in the multiplayer scene, which is great. So Domination gameplay, there are army fund distribution between the armies, and the reinforcements have been rebalanced. So 40% main army, 60% reinforcements to 50-50. So I believe it was 7.2 and 10.8. So more than likely looking at about, if I do quick maths, yeah, maybe something like 8.6, 8.6. That doesn't sound right, but it'd be something around that. Around that. So, 9K, 9K. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, it'd be 9,000 each. We've adjusted the additional supplies a player gains when they are training in Domination. So plus 5 supplies per second when training by 1,000 tickets, and then plus 10 supplies when training by 2,000 tickets. Okay, that's interesting. Now, one thing on top of this that I have a bit of an issue with is you can be winning on the battlefield as the losing player on tickets, and then be still getting bonuses. So you could have 12,000 damage compared to your opponent has 6,000 damage. They have 2 domination points. You have 1, but you're 1,000 tickets behind, but you've already got twice as much value on the battlefield. Okay, but you're also getting an extra 5 supplies per second. How can this be balanced? I think it should be balanced also by your army on the battlefield. I think that should play a big part in the combat mechanic and how it affects on the supplies per second you get. An additional 500 initial supplies to the default stockpile. Increasing the base income supply from 16 to 20 per second. That's going to be very interesting. Remove the supply line income provided via damage to units. So going from 16 to 24. Not too sure why that's been implemented, but maybe we'll see. So we've temporarily disabled the ability to use manual targeting system. Fantastic. In the multiplayer battles, seeing that it can be exploited. Yes, you could certainly fire and then go into a cannon and fire it manually again immediately, which means there was no reload time, which is a little bit overpowered. Players in ranked battles will no longer be able to load an army from the Demons of Chaos. Yeah, that was a big bug, and I did tell people not to do that, but hopefully that is no longer the case. Fix issues where Bellacor's Blade of Shadow ability did not have an associated cost in the custom multiplayer battles. The Palace of Slanesh Survival Battle. Fix an issue where all players could lose connection following the Croissant cutscene. The Palace of Slanesh Survivor Battle, looks like there's going to be some more fixes. So, localization. Brazilian Portuguese, fix a supply line during the first mission. Something rotten in Kislev, known issues. So below there are some known issues that have been identified that are new in the update relevant to the changes above. This is by no means a comprehensive list of issues being worked on, but there are important notes to keep in mind as you rejoin the battlefield. So start off your army is placed on top or behind of the final battle quest marker. Following the changes for the Forge of Souls, this is going to be single player. There's going to be some single player mechanic changes. First by placing blah 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 blah. So yeah, there's just going to be some changes to this. So if you want to read that, please feel free to pause here and give it a read. But otherwise, I think for the most part, that is going to be the multiplayer scene. I could touch on a bunch more. You can see there's just a bucket load of updates. CA have really worked hard here on getting changes, not just, and you can say, and previously, the multiplayer scene, we could say, there was nice, there was just a couple of changes for multiplayer. Half of this document is multiplayer. We've just got to take that into consideration and go and say thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing so many changes, and that don't just affect Domination. They also affect land battles. Land battles have been talked about, they have been mentioned, and they have been considered in some of these changes. Lots of updates, lots of positive things to come forward, and lots of things you all asked for. I know a lot of people said, I don't enjoy it because it's a very small army to start. It doesn't feel as grand and as epic as the land battles. Hopefully that changes that for you guys. Hopefully here you're going to be seeing lots more enjoyable battles with more themes. And the supplies are going to be changing. There's going to be less cheesing by the sounds of it. Supplies per second are going to be changing. Bonuses, comeback mechanics are going to be changed. So hopefully it's going to bring more balanced and better fun gameplay. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please smash that like button. Feel free to leave a comment below. But of course, please do be respectful. Other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves. Check out that description for all my other social media platforms. I will more than likely be doing a stream tonight for the new 1.1 update. So let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want me to do. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.